Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Crook County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today's date is Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025, and it's 9:00 a.m. Let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance and then a prayer from Brian Carmick, pastor of Eastside Foursquare Church. And Craig Kilpatrick, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for these group of leaders that are gathered here today. Thank you for all they bring to our community, and I just pray for grace and for peace and for clear direction and wisdom today and all the decisions that need to be made. Thank you for a community that's a great place to raise a family, a wonderful place to do business. And we just really pray that people that are here would be blessed today as they're gathering together. Really pray for unity, that we can all reach a common goal and go the right direction. And we just really pray that this would be the best county in Oregon. Thank you for everybody that's here today, and bless them all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, next we do some public comment. We have some hearings today, so with the TSP and different things, and so if you have comments for that, you might want to wait until the hearings start. We have two others that aren't Gary Likens and Terry Dugan. If you would like to come up and speak.
Do we speak on I'm here on the transportation part. Do we speak now?
Well, we're going to do that later.
Okay.
It might be the appropriate time.
It's about the transportation also.
Okay, so we'll just wait till transportation. Okay, consent agenda. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I second that motion.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion?
No discussion?
No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Romer guy.
Crawford, aye.
Barney, aye. So moved. Into discussion, proclamation stating that October is recognized as the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Joanna Gardner, would you please step forward up to the mic, introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Joanna Gardner. I'm Regional Services Manager with Saving Grace. We provide services. Is it not on?
You have to get really close to
Really
that.
close.
You can take it out of the stand also. That helps.
Is that okay? We provide services to folks who experience domestic violence in Crook County. And so we're just here asking that the commissioners declare October to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Crook County so that we can bring it to the forefront of the conversation here and hopefully prevent further domestic violence and support law enforcement and all of those that respond to domestic violence and continue to educate and spread awareness about the topic.
Great, have it. In front of me is a proclamation that Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I'm kind of cold, so. Whereas systemic oppression and inequity create a culture in which some communities are especially targeted for violence and experience greater barriers to access service. And whereas intimate partner violence affects more than 12 million people in the United States every year, and nearly 3 in 10 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner. Domestic violence can escalate to life-threatening harm through many forms of abuse, and far too many lives are lost each year to this preventable tragedy. And whereas now more than ever, we are being reminded that we are capable of change, and each person makes choices every day that either support or challenge a culture of violence. And whereas every individual in our community and within our county has a role to play in moving change forward and promoting health and safety for all people. By not tolerating violence, by promoting accountability, and by participating in the efforts to end violence. And whereas new efforts built on foundations laid by dedicated advocates, preventionists, activists, and other partners who have been doing this work for decades. And whereas by taking action where you work, play, learn, worship, or live, change is possible and domestic violence is preventable when we all are working together to end systemic oppression and the root cause of domestic violence, while also promoting strong laws, effective prevention, and consistent enforcement to protect survivors and ensure justice and accountability. Now, therefore, we, the Crook County Commissioners, hereby proclaim October 2025 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Crook County and encourage all residents to join in this observance.
I appreciate it.
I thank you for all your good works.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate your support.
We definitely do it.
Thank
So I'd
you.
entertain a motion to
I
accept.
will make a motion to accept the proclamation of Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Second, motion's been made second. Any further discussion?
Discussion,
All in favor, say aye.
Herman Guy,
Crawford, aye.
Barney, aye. So moved.
thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. for
Appreciate your
coming.
time this morning. Thank you so much.
Brad,
Good morning.
good morning.
Good morning for the record, commissioners and chair. I'm Brad Haynes, Crook County Road Department Superintendent. I'm here today to ask for, to sign off on the bid for the Puckett overlay. We have, 4 bids. Sent all you guys the information. Would you like me to read the bids out loud or, okay. We have 4 bids in front of us here. The bid opening was September 25th. It was a public bid opening. We had 1 participant. And then I sent the bids over to legal for look through and make sure they're all good. Tri-County Paving Incorporated was the lowest bidder for $473,625. And Eric has some comments to say about the bid package. Thank you.
So commissioners, as part of the bid package that was published with the request for proposals, we included a form that the county has used for years for the proposal bond. All 4 of the bidders submitted proposal bonds, but the low bidder, Tri-County, did not use the form that the county included in its request for proposal. I have reviewed the form that they submitted, and it's my conclusion that it is substantially similar to the form that the county has always used, such that if it should come to pass that the county ever has to make a claim under that bid bond, it would have the same rights as it would under its own form. For that reason, it's my recommendation that the county determine that different bid form is a minor informality such that would not render Tri-County's bid to be unresponsive. There's the possibility that the other 3 bidders might disagree. And so what I would propose happen today is, unless you have any further questions, the Board of Commissioners make a motion to award the contract to Tri-County Paving. And what would happen thereafter is that our office would send a document called a notice of intent to award to all 3 bidders. And in this case, that notice would specifically say Tri-County used a different bid bond form, but the county determined that that form is acceptable. And if those other 3 bidders disagree and they say, no, you came to the wrong conclusion, they have some sort of competitive advantage that isn't fair, they would have the opportunity to file a bid protest. If they come to the conclusion that no bid protest is required, then the county can move forward with awarding the contract. The contract form itself was also included in the RFP, so it's been published. The public's had the opportunity to review it. And so my suggestion is first to make a motion to deem Tri-County Paving's bid bond form to be a minor informality. And then second, to award the Puckett Road overlay contract to Tri-County Paving as the low bidder, and to authorize signing that contract outside of a meeting.
Okay, I'm very happy to see that we had 4 bidders.
Yes, it was very impressive this year.
Yeah, that was a very, very good. So I would go ahead and The first motion is to,
So the first motion would be for the Board of Commissioners to find that Tri-County Paving's bid form is a minor informality and to deem that it is acceptable in response to the county's request for proposals.
so moved.
Second.
Motion's been made second. Any further discussion?
No discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Oh my God.
Crawford, I.
Barney, aye. So moved.
And the second motion would be a motion to award the contract for the Puckett Road overlay project to Tri-County Paving as the low bidder.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made second. Any discussion?
No discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Herrick, aye.
Crawford, I.
Barney, aye. So moved.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
very much, Eric, for your work, and thank you, Brad.
You bet, thank you.
both.
Thank you, commissioners, for signing off on this.
Aaron,
Good morning, Commissioners.
Barney,
For the record, Aaron Boyd, I'm the Lieutenant, Community Corrections Division of the Sheriff's Office. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here this morning to ask for your signatures to accept the $150,000 CJC grant, which funds our deflection program, which is housed under my office. I'm happy to answer any questions, but this is, or the grant has been approved and awarded to us, and now it's just time for signature.
How does, go ahead. How does it compare to past years? Have they give us a haircut yet, or is that coming next year?
This grant was the same, as it was last time. There was no reduction in it. This is part one of the process. There is a second part that is still ongoing that should be, completed in the next few months. So that will be the secondary part of the award.
I see, I read it and I see no problem, so I make a motion to approve VHD 27-05 grant agreement with the Criminal Justice Commission.
Second,
I forgot behavioral health deflection program.
I'd like to add behavioral health defection
Thank you.
program.
motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Your discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Crawford, I.
Herrick, aye.
Barney, aye. So
Thank you.
moved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Christina Heron, Crook County Finance Director for the record. And it's that time of the month again where we go through the treasurer's report. So happy to answer any questions and we can run through it in as much detail as you would like. We did, finance and the assessor's office did get the tax roll certified last week. Tax statements are at the printer and should be going out within the next.
Sorry, Christina, I'm just trying to
No,
get
you're
through it
fine.
here.
It's kind of buried in there. It's page 124.
Okay, thank you.
I guess the question is, do we have money?
We won't start getting money until the majority of taxpayers pay, which is after they get those paper statements. So
Okay.
typically towards the end of October. The last week of October and the first 2 weeks of November before the deadline, which is November 17th of this year, since the 15th falls on a weekend, is when we get the majority of our payments in. The formatting is fairly familiar. The top section is a listing of all bank and investment accounts and their balances as of the end of September. And then the next section is the accounts in our general ledger. And then the variance is described what the difference is. It's our deposits in transit, outstanding checks, and a tax turnover payment. And then those are further broken down into our allocation by each fund that we have on the next page. And we can keep going on that one. It flows to the next page and you'll see that there's a zero variance on that one. And then the next page is our investment allocation by investment type. And then that does reconcile back to those accounts on the prior pages. And then looking at the book value and market value of the investments, just a reminder that we do hold our investments to maturity unless they're called or investment is downgraded and does not fit our investment policy anymore. So that results in a lower risk and more predictable return. And then the final page is just the current interest rates that are paid on our checking accounts or small savings accounts. And then that the county doesn't have any warrants outstanding in this context. Could you answer any questions or dive deep into anything if you'd like to?
No, thank you, Christine.
Thank you so much.
You do a
Thank
good
you.
job.
Thank you.
The next is the OHEP Assistant Navigation Grant. Katie,
We have to meet.
Neil,
I'm in person and Katie is online.
Well, it's nice to get to see you today, Camille. We don't
Thank
get to
you.
see you often.
The request or the discussion item is to receive $100,000 to do OHP assisted work. This is a grant that we've historically had, a smaller amount of money in the past. So this would just be a larger sum of money to continue doing the work. Some of the work we already do, this would just increase our capacity, to do it for more people in Crook County.
I don't know if she has anything to say.
Can she unmute herself?
I asked her to unmute. She can unmute once I request her, but she
Okay.
hasn't. Oh, there she goes. Hi, Katie.
Hi, good morning. Thank you. I'm driving, so just had to get to a space that I can unmute. I don't have anything to add unless there's questions.
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any questions. I'm glad we got more money so we can expand our services as always. So I make a motion to approve the Oregon Health Authority Grant Agreement number PO-44300-000493319.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No discussion, and thank you, Camille, for coming.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
All in favor, say aye.
Oh my God.
Robert, aye.
Barney, aye. So moved. Hey, John, now we're going into a couple of hearings. First one being ordinance 355, a zone map amendment.
Commissioners, for the record, John Ister, Community Development Director. We do have two public hearings on the agenda here. Excuse me. The first is ordinance 355. This is one of those Powell Butte study zone map changes. Our senior planner, Katie McDonald, did all the work on this like she has on all the rest. And so she's going to come up here and lead us through this.
Do we need to open the public hearing first?
So the script, yeah. Yeah, so Commissioner Barney, you might want to kick off with the script for this.
Okay, the Crook County Board of Commissioners convenes today, Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025. At 9:20 to conduct the first of two scheduled public hearings on ordinance 355, an ordinance amending the Crook County zone map to adopt a zone change for MTL 1614110001200. Land use application number 217-250-000-250-PLNG. The applicant proposes to amend the Crook County zone map to rezone approximately 20 acres from exclusive farm use zone EFU3 Powell Butte area to rural residential R10. At this time, I'd like to request a motion to read by title only.
I'm so moved.
Second.
Ordinance 355, an ordinance.
We need to vote.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No discussion, Herrick, aye.
Crawford, I.
Barney, aye. So moved. An ordinance amending, ordinance 355 is an ordinance amending the Crook County zoning map to adopt a zone change for MTL 1614110001200 and declaring an emergency. We finished going through the whole thing here, so procedural statement. Today, the Board of County Commissioners will be considering a recommendation from the Planning Commission to approve the zone map amendment. A complete copy of the recommendation is available on the county website or from the Planning Department. The Board of County Commissioners may elect to uphold, modify, or reverse the Planning Commission's recommendation. This is the first of two hearings the board will hold. The hearing will be a de novo, which means like new, normal quasi judicial land use procedure will apply. Applicable criteria. For reference, the applicable approval criteria are as follows. Crook County Code, Title 18, Chapter 18.12, Establishment of Zones, Boundaries. Section 18.12.020, Location of Zones, List zones established in Crook County. Section 18.12.030, Zoning Map. Map is amended by authority of the Planning Commission. Title 18, Chapter 18.92, Rural Residential Zone R10 describes zone requirements. Title 18, Chapter 18.170, Quasi Judicial Amendments. Section 18.170.010, Quasi Judicial Amendment Standards. Title 18, Chapter 18.172, Administrative Provisions. Sections 18.172.010, Quasi Judicial Hearing Authority. Sections 18.172.010, Application. Section 18.172.010, Notice of Public Hearing. Crook County Comprehensive Plan, Crook County Ordinance 127, Amendment 1. 2, this hearing will be conducted pursuant to Crook County Code Chapter 18.170 and 18.172. At this time, I would like to poll the board regarding conflicts of interest and expertise communications, including personal knowledge, bias, prejudgment, or personal interest. Does anyone have any expertise communications or conflicts of interest to disclose?
Herrick, no.
Crawford, no.
Barney, no. Does anyone in the audience or on the phone wish to challenge the participation of any member of this board regarding conflicts of interest, expertise communications, or prejudgment of this matter? If you are online and you wish to submit a challenge, please comment in the chat box your request to speak so that the staff can unmute you. Is anyone in the room challenge? Seeing none online?
None online.
And online. During the hearing, testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards applicable approval standards and criteria or other standards and criteria in the Crook County Land Use Regulations or Comprehensive Plan that the person testifying believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence with sufficient detail to give the hearing authority and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals on that issue. The record is open and will remain open until at the soonest, the close of the second hearing. If parties wish to request that the record remain open or the second hearing be continued, it may make such a request in accordance with Crook County Code 18.172.081. The decision of the Board of County Commissioners may be appealed in accordance with ORS 197 and OAR 661. If you are in person and intend to testify on the limited issue, please make sure to fill out the testimony slip found at the entrance of the meeting room. If you are online and wish to testify, please comment in the chat box whether you intend to do so in favor of or in opposition to the application. We will then call on you to testify at the appropriate time. If you have written testimony and you would like to submit, please hand it to one of our staff members. All persons testifying must be recognized by the board. Please speak clearly and state your name and address for the record. If you are speaking on behalf of someone else or a group, please state who you are representing. The order of testimony will be as follows. We will hear from the staff first. We will then take testimony from any federal, state, or local agencies. We will then hear from the applicant. Anyone in favor or who is neutral to the ordinance will then be heard. Then we will hear from those in opposition. And then we will conclude with any final words from staff. Does anyone in the audience or on the phone or online have any questions about the process today? If you're online, please use your question. Please type your question in the chat box. Questions? See any? This time we will begin the public hearing. Hi.
Good morning, commissioners. For the record, Katie McDonald, senior planner. Before you today is a zone map amendment. This property was included in the Powell Butte study. It is part of ordinance 127 amendment 1. Procedurally, the application was received in July and deemed complete. Department of Land Conservation and Development has received notice of the proposed action plan amendment. October 8th, the Planning Commission held a hearing regarding the zone map amendment. They actually issued a decision. So with zone map amendments, since the exception has already been approved and is included in the comprehensive plan, the zone map change only requires a Planning Commission decision and an ordinance from the Board of County Commissioners, hence the 2 public hearings in front of the Board of County Commissioners. There were no comments or testimony received at the Planning Commission, and property is 20 acres, R10, rural residential, does allow that for future development if the applicant proceeds to go down that route. As of right now, there is no proposed development. This is only a zone map amendment. I know that the applicant is here, so we'll see if they have anything. Do you have any questions for me?
So no one's admitted any letters to planning or anything?
We received no.
There were no comments at all?
No.
Okay, thank you. Any federal or state local agencies like to speak? Hear from the applicant.
Morning, folks. For the record, my name is Craig Kilpatrick. I live at 13790 Northwest O'Neill Highway. As Katie so aptly described, this is a zone map request. You folks have seen these before. This all stems back to the work that began in 1999 and a number of properties that were proposed for rezoning based on the determination that they were irrevocably committed to uses other than agriculture. We have endeavored over the years to try to get people to work together on these so that we could not have so many individual applications, but due to other people's circumstances, where they live, et cetera, it seems like these things just kind of trickle on forever.
but I think we do. I think we're down to maybe 2 or 3 more. Again, we're trying to get people to work together to get this done, just to simplify the process and not waste so much public time, but we can only do what we can do. So, there really isn't much to this. It's a kind of a procedural matter at this point. The ordinance were written up in, I think, 1999, 2000, somewhere in there, setting these specific areas out for rezoning either to R10 or to R20. This is again one of the last remaining ones. And at this point in time, as Katie pointed out, there aren't any development plans before you, and the planning commission determined that the application was adequate for them to make a decision, and they made a positive decision. So we're just asking you to kind of follow through with the procedure through these next 2 hearings and get her done. Any questions? Great.
For mine. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. Is there anyone here in favor or who is neutral to the application? Here or online? Is there anyone here in opposition? Or online? More rebuttal? Okay. Close the motion.
It's our first public hearing, so there would be no motion. I think we just had read it and that's it.
Make a motion to close the public hearing, ordinance 355, and reconvene on November the 5th at 9 o'clock.
Still moved.
Do we need a motion to close the public hearing?
Yeah, I don't think you need a motion to close the
I think
hearing.
so, but we'll go for it.
Yeah, so as you observe, this is the first of 2 hearings. Will be a second one in November. Additional public comment will be available then, and then assuming that you didn't need further discussion at that juncture, you would vote to approve or deny the
Sounds good, Eric.
So. Go to the second one. Comp plan amendment, transportation system plan, ordinance 354, record number 217-2500289 planning. The Crook County Board of Commissioners convenes today, Wednesday, October the 15th, 2025 at 9:34 a.m. to conduct the second of 2 scheduled public hearings on ordinance 354, updating the Crook County Comprehensive Plan, Transportation System Plan, and declaring an emergency. Land use application 217-25-000289 planning. This is purely legislative amendment to Crook County's comprehensive plan pursuant to state's transportation plan rule, which will replace the existing 2017 transportation system plan, which is part of the county's comprehensive plan. At this time, I'd like to request a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, say aye.
Rick, aye.
Marty, aye. Ordinance 354, updating the Crook County Comprehensive Plans, Transportation System Plan, and declaring an emergency. Today, the Board of County Commissioners will be considering a recommendation from the Planning Commission to approve the 2025 TSP Comprehensive Plan Amendment. A complete copy of the staff memo and TSP is available on the county's website or from the Planning Department. The Board of County Commissioners may elect to uphold, modify, or reject the Planning Commission's recommendation. This is the second of 2 hearings the board will hold. The hearing will be de novo, which means like new, normal legislative land use procedures will apply. For reference, the applicable approval criteria are as follows. Crook County Code CCC Title 18, zoning chapter 18.168, the legislative amendments, the Crook County Comprehensive Plan, Oregon Administrative Rules, and Oregon Revised Statutes. This hearing will be conducted pursuant to Crook County Code, Chapter 18.168 and 18.172. Ex parte communications, conflicts of interest. At this time, I will poll the board regarding conflicts of interest, including personal knowledge, bias, prejudgment, or personal interest. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest?
No.
Crawford, no.
Barney, no. Does anyone in the audience or on the phone wish to challenge the participation of any member of this board regarding conflicts of interest or prejudgment of this matter? If you are online and you wish to submit a challenge, please comment in the chat box your request to speak so that staff can unmute you. Anyone in the room? None online? Let's see. During the hearing, testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed toward the applicable approval standards and criteria or other standards and criteria in the Crook County Land Use Regulations or comprehensive plan that persons testifying believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence with sufficient details to give the hearing authority and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals on that issue. The record is open and will remain open until at the soonest the close of the second hearing. If parties wish to request that the record remain open or the second hearing be continued, it may make such a request in accordance with Crook County Code 18.172.081. The decision of the Board of County Commissioners may be appealed in accordance with ORS 197 and OAR 661. If you are in person and intend to testify on the limited issues, please make sure to fill out the testimony slip found in the entrance of the meeting room. If you are online and you wish to testify, please comment in the chat box whether you intend to do so in favor of or in opposition to the application. We will then call on you to testify at the appropriate time. If you have written testimony that you would like to submit, please hand it to one of our staff members. All persons testifying must be recognized by the board. Please speak clearly and state your name and address for the record. If you are speaking on behalf of someone else or a group, please state who you are representing. The order of testimony will be as follows. First, we will hear from the staff. We will then take testimony from any federal, state, or local agencies. Anyone in favor or who is neutral to the ordinance will then be heard. Then we will hear from those in opposition. We will conclude with any final words from staff. Does anyone in the audience or on the phone have any questions about the process today? If you're online, please type your question into the chat box. Hearing or seeing none? At this time, we will begin the public hearing. Order of the proceedings. We will hear from the staff first. John?
Good morning, Commissioners. John Eisler, Community Development Director. So this is it. This is the culmination of a couple of years worth of work, a lot of public outreach, multiple drafts of this, obviously with public input. This is the second of two hearings, and so this can be the final public hearing if the board chooses. You can make a decision. We have brought back the TSP with your recommended changes. We added that third Juniper Canyon widening project. We did it from Davis Loop down to 380. We added in some language about the need for agricultural freight movement, and we incorporated some of ODOT's comments. We have our consultant, Ryan Farncombe, on the line here, and he's going to give another presentation, but once he's done, I invite any questions from the board. Ryan?
Hey, good afternoon, folks. I don't think I can share my video for whatever reason, but oh, actually, it looks like I can't share my screen either.
Well, I think we can share it from the packet, I think.
Oh, okay, great.
190-ish.
Are you sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great. So I have just a brief presentation. I'm not going to go through the entire presentation I went through at the last hearing that covers all aspects of the TSP. But to reiterate what John mentioned, we made the following updates to the TSP. So added Juniper Canyon widening from Davis Loop to 380. And so we have 3 total Juniper Canyon alternatives in the TSP. We included both a discussion of the needs and also potential solutions for improving safety and mobility for agricultural vehicles, especially crossing busy roads. And then also just to note that, agricultural vehicle mobility is a key consideration for every project that gets implemented in the county. ODOT also submitted some comments on the TSP. They were largely non-substantial. Mostly their comments were around updating some of the costs based on the recent construction experience. So we went ahead and made those updates. For example, increasing the Powell Butte Highway Oregon 126 roundabout to $6 million instead of 3.4 based on their advice. Next slide. So in here again, just a depiction of the limits of the proposed Juniper Canyon widening, and then an illustrative cross section showing the wider shoulder that could also be used by people walking or bicycling, and then a 2-way left turn lane and or a median in the middle of the road, depending on where you're at on this widening project. Next slide. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's the end of my presentation.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So that's it from Ryan. If you guys have any questions, we've gone over this multiple times. This is a 20-year planning document. Purpose of this is to get it in place so we know what the priorities in the county are, where transportation improvements are needed, and what our current ideas are. This should help with funding and grants and maybe establishing a funding mechanism like system development charges down the line. So, any questions from the board at this time?
Don't have any.
No questions, John. You're behind the screen.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I just appreciate you guys adding that language about ag.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think along those lines, if we can start kind of looking at some different things that they do in different communities and maybe trying to implement some things to help the folks out on 126 through Powell Butte. But I mean, that's not something we need to do today. That's something we can add as we figure it out.
Correct. There's no question. I'll just remind members of the public, if they want to provide comment, that they should fill out testimony slip in the hallway real quick and then bring that up to us. That's all I have.
Is there any comments from federal, state, or local agencies? Next, is there anyone in favor or who is neutral to the application? Just would like to speak about it?
I think Ms. Craig would like to be in favor. He went to go fill out his.
Oh,
So we have several people, and then the last would be in opposition, so we can combine all of that. Melissa,
You ready for me now, or did you want to list everybody?
I'm ready for you. Are you in
Okay, so-
opposition or in favor or
In
just
favor,
neutral?
in favor.
Okay, well then,
Let's get it
please
going.
Speak, yes.
Okay. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Melissa Pearson. I live on Ranch View out at Brasada Ranch. I have lived in Crook County for 20 years and been in Powell Butte the last 13. I want to speak about this plan. I'm active with a large group of concerned citizens focused on the Powell Butte Post Office intersection, the Powell Butte Highway and Highway 126. We just refer to it as the dangerous intersection. After we responded to the transportation survey this last spring, we were encouraged to learn that this intersection is now listed as the #1 priority from the results of that, and that's great news. Since 2018, many of us have met with Crook County and ODOT officials, the Central Oregon Interagency Transportation Group. We've written and called state and federal representatives. We've done our part to keep this issue visible on social media. Over the years, we've come to understand the value of this plan and this plan being updated. And we fully support its approval as the first step towards making real improvements to this dangerous intersection. You can count on me and all my neighbors, and I've got a lot of them, to stay engaged and to support your continued efforts to address what remains a serious threat to our community. I speak for myself and many of my neighbors when I say thank you for all the work to staff and the consultants and yourselves for making this happen. And it's just exciting that we finally have this box checked to be able to move forward for other funding sources. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Gary?
I'm Gary Likens. I live on 13111 Southwest Umbarger Road. My outlet is off of Rife Road. And I'm just here to reaffirm, because I live there, the situations that we go through daily trying to get out on the Highway 126. We'll go down there many times. And I always tell my wife, I said, we'll never get out. That's my comment. And we wait there from anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes to get out. And usually I'm turning left to go to Redmond. Solid. And the additional traffic over the years that's been put on Highway 126, the additional truck traffic that's coming out of the rock quarries. And I'm not here to bash growth. The problem is we got to do something about it. And what's happened with the additional traffic between Prineville and Redmond back and forth, or Prineville to Bend back and forth, a lot of the locals that are going from Bend to Prineville or from Prineville to Bend have found now that the back roads, because of congestions at the post office and other areas, that they can zoom down these back roads 65, 70 miles an hour and save themselves 5 or 10 minutes. So Rife Road, not as bad in the morning, but in the evenings from about 3:30 to about 5:30. I mean, they come down through there, they hit Riggs, they go out and they hit Stillman, come out on the 126 and they bypass the whole thing, you know, the town of Powell Butte, the post office. And these rural country roads weren't designed for that. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And what kind of, I thought, not funny, but the other day, our mail lady used to always come in the morning to deliver packages. So she switched to the afternoon. So I asked her that day, I said, how come you don't come in the mornings anymore? And she said, well, I'll tell you, I get paid by the package. I don't get paid by the hour. And she goes, I would sit down at Rife Road and all I wanted to do was cross 126 to go to the other side of Rife Road. And I was waiting 45 to 50 minutes a week to do that. So I changed my entire route. So that's why I come in the afternoons now. So I'm just here to reaffirm the situation that we have, and with the additional growth in the whole Powell Butte area out there, I am really hoping that something needs to be done. And if we can get it a roundabout at Powell Butte at the post office, great. I'll take a side road. There's many side roads I can take to get to that roundabout, to get out to wherever I want to go. But, you know, and I feel for people that come down, especially in the evenings at Powell Butte and 126, especially if you're wanting to go left into Redmond, you better bring a dinner because you're going to sit there a long time. And so That's really all I have to say. I just kind of wanted to let you know what we deal with out there, and I'm not the Lone Ranger here, everybody does. And there's gonna be additional traffic now put on Rife Road eventually, I think. So, you know, the sooner the better is all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Very good comments.
Great.
Again, for the record, Craig Kilpatrick. I'd just like to compliment staff and all the participants for their hard work on this. This is one of the most grueling things that planners can deal with. It just seems like it goes on and on forever. It sounds like it's been a very thorough effort and everybody should be, get an attaboy for that. I really support the effort. Again, I'm with Commissioner Crawford. I'm happy to see some additions made for agriculture, for equipment. I know how difficult it is to deal with that, even on O'Neill Highway. Anytime I see one of my neighbors moving a tractor or something, I slow down, turn on the flashers and give them a little bit of backup until they can get safely off the side of the road, because there's no recovery on a lot of these roads. Once you're in the ditch, you're in the ditch. So hopefully we'll get some improvements on that. I really have more of a question. Maybe somebody can answer. I apologize because I managed to squeeze out a little vacation time and really wasn't paying attention to the final draft of this. And my question really is in relation to the Juniper Canyon area. Was there actually any kind of resolution in terms of the routes that we spent so much time talking about? Or are those still kind of in a state of flux and part of a general plan? That's really the only question I have. And other than that, I just applaud everybody's effort. Thank you.
So, Mr. Patrick, I think you provided comment at our Juniper Canyon meeting in May. I think that we were looking at the wrong way. There wasn't a single solution to the people's issues up there, and so that is kind of the direction that staff went from there. Especially, there was not one solution that would solve everybody's issues up there regarding wildfire and transportation and congestion. And so we, Commissioner Crawford went back to the drawing board. The most sensible route was the one that's up there first, the northwest route off Davis Loop that connects to the Crooked River Highway. We looked at, there was an opportunity to perhaps get some pre-federal land, or at least some federal land with some strings on it. And so we looked at an evacuation route, a seasonal evacuation route that goes east over to Palana Highway. And so that got added. So with that was kind of a comprehensive wildfire safety plan that involved more than just transportation. I think that safe space and some other items I think you're aware of. And then there were some comments as we went through the planning commission and through our first hearing here. So the voters, not the voters, the survey, the number one request was to widen Juniper Canyon Road. There were some reasons why that was initially taken out, but then with the public comment and support from the commissioners, we added that in now. So now we have, as this is a 20-year planning document, the idea was we don't want to have to come back here in 8 or 10 years and redo it. And so it might as well be in there. I think all 3 routes make sense. We still need to establish a mechanism to fund these routes. But the decision was made to put all 3 routes on there. This is a 20-year planning document. As you noted, it is a slog to get through. And so I want to make sure this is something that we can lean on for a long time. And so the decision was made to, in this current draft, have all 3 routes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Terry?
My name is Terry Dugan, and I live in 15384 Southwest Wiegand Road in Powell Butte. And I've been concerned about the traffic, been concerned about it for a long time. When they were gonna put a store at the Powell Butte And where it meets 126, we got the commission or the planning department to go out there on a Friday afternoon. They said, this is no place for us, for a store. And if you went by there today, you would appreciate the fact that there's no store there. And I was here the other day with the planning committee and I told them that they need to come out and try to go through Powell Butte at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and cross Reef and Reef Road and 126 and see what happens. And they had no interest in that at all. And we now have temporary, I guess it's going to be finalized, daycare center in Powell Butte by the community center, which means that there's going to be at least another 200 cars a day going by my house, which I live on Weekend Road, which goes out to 126, which comes right out to, comes out to Powell Butte Highway, which comes out at the Powell Butte Community Center. So that's 50 kids, that's 100 cars going in and out in the morning and 100 cars going in and out in the evening. And they all have to get back on 126 or Powell Butte. And we're getting all this traffic and it's going to be well, I shouldn't say it's going to be a killer, but their traffic study did not include the fact that all it included was above Umbarger Road, which is on Reef Road, that there's somebody run into a fence at 12 o'clock at night sometime. I don't know. But if you really want to know where the traffic was, it's at the crossroads of Reef and Riggs Road. There was a little girl killed there about 15 years ago. And at the end of Reef Road and 126, there's been 3 people killed there in the last 25 years. So that's my concern is, if you do a traffic study, at least include the stuff that happens, not the stuff that and if they put a roundabout at 126 and Powell Butte Highway, every car that goes to the community center is gonna go down Weekend Road and has to turn off of Powell Butte Highway. So what we're getting is people from Redmond and Prineville that don't live out there. They're dropping the kids off in the middle of Powell Butte. And this makes no sense at all because we have plenty of traffic. I live on the road and as Mr. Barney knows, I can't get through my property unless I go up the road because there's a canal. And so every day I'm gonna have to go up the road with a tractor. So what am I to do? And it doesn't include anything in the Powell Butte study at all. So I hate to think that anybody else is going to get hurt or killed out on the highway. But this little girl was 8 years old that got killed there on that crossroad. And the Husky boy was one of the kids from the community that got killed, and somebody else was from someplace else and they were riding a motorcycle from out of state and they got killed there. So I think when you're traffic study, you have to think about getting the people and keep them on the highway. Don't let them cross the highway. We don't need them in the middle of the farming ground. And anyhow, that's, I guess all I have to say is we need to have everybody be safe out there. And right now it isn't safe at all. I know that the sheriff's office may as well put a deputy out there, because when I go up the road right in the middle of the road. And if they don't like it, that's just tough. But I'm not gonna get run over. And I have been almost run over before. So anyhow, that's if you have any questions about why I'm here.
I do, Terry. I talk with you quite frequently on the phone and understand your concerns and on this issue. And
But you understand, and I have to go up the road to get to where I have to go, because
absolutely.
and I will have, if they put the community center it's a can of worms that I think the commissioners ought to think about. You got a public ground and with a commercial building on it. Now, I don't quite understand. So if everybody says, well, she's got a 10-year contract, but that doesn't mean anything if she's losing $2,000 a month, you know?
Right.
And
And
so-
I think, Terry, that we haven't been approached with that subject yet, and I think that we will. It's still in the planning stages. We may hear something on that.
So the planning commission approved the application, conditional use permit, at the last hearing, which was, I think, on 10/8. So the appeal period is still open. It could be appealed and brought before you at that time. But I think Mr. Duggan's comments are relevant in that the area is growing. There's going to be continued growth. As bad as it is now, it's going to get worse until we're able to make some of these transportation improvements that we're looking at. So that's, to me, it reiterates the urgency of getting this thing approved and figuring out how to alleviate the congestion out there.
And hopefully by getting those, the roundabouts and things, it'll take the traffic back out of the rural areas and where the people live and keep it on the main roads. Because it is a problem. I mean, everybody goes whichever way they can, that they can go in order to get moved around, and so it's puts more traffic out on the rural roads and all the intersections and around your home.
The priority projects is mentioned, they have the roundabout at 126 at Pal Butte Highway, and then another roundabout over at Williams on 126. And so with the addition of both of those, that should, I would think, take some of the pressure off of Reef Road, so.
But there's no roundabouts proposed by the highway department at this time, is there?
They're in the plan,
Are they in the plan?
yes.
Which means what?
Which means that they're in the plan and now we've got to be able to get the financing and the funds to be able to move forward with them. They've been outlined as a priority for Crook County in the Pal Butte area.
And that's how you get on the ODOT list to get the projects done. You need to identify them locally. Then they look at your local plan and then they will then work with you to try and find funding and different opportunities.
Well, I would tell you that 3 years ago, my wife and I were on 9th Street in Redmond, and we almost got killed by somebody. But now they have a roundabout there, But at that time, well, she spent 5 days in the hospital because somebody ran into us, and so for being proposed doesn't mean it's gonna happen, in my estimation. But I don't think that all the roads in Pal Butte are cinder rock roads. They're not 3/4 minus packed and rolled, because when they put the new bridge in there and by my house, I got the rock that was left over, about 20 loads of cinder rock, and that's all it was cinder rock, and they took it out and put, so I think not only it's ruining the roads with all the transportation, it's not just dangerous, but it's also very hard on the roads. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
I don't have any more papers. Is there anyone else that would like to testify? Staff have any closing comments?
None at this time. I'll mention that the TSP document in the packet is the draft, and so we were waiting for this final hearing to see if there were any recommended substantive changes. And so the motions that I've included for you guys basically have the recommendation to sign out of court. So we can basically get the draft removed and the red lines removed and just get you a final copy ready to sign out of the meeting, not out of court. Sorry, it's hard to get rid of that.
So I will, at this time, there's no one else wishing to testify. I'll move, close the public hearing on ordinance 354 and enter into deliberations.
I'm obviously always.
Close the public.
Yes, so,
Yeah.
for just closing, you don't need a motion for that.
Was this? I'll get it testified first. It's on my paper, on this reason. All right, let's close the public hearing and let's deliberate.
I feel that all the comments that were made today, I think you all did a really, really good job of speaking and I appreciate all your comments. And I also, as far as Terry, we need to get a plan so that we can get into ODOT. We can get our message heard. And so without doing this first step, we're still gonna be back in the basically murky waters where they don't know what we want. So I very strongly feel that we need to go ahead and, what do I wanna say, verify or approve this second, or this ordinance 354, just so that we can get the ball rolling, we can identify, these are priorities here, we all realize Powell Butte's a nightmare, we all realize the need in Juniper Canyon, we can get this down on paper, then we can make the next movement to get it on ODOT's radar, to start looking for grants and funding and all of that. So therefore, that is my comment. I don't know if Seth wants to make a comment.
Yeah, no, it's very similar. I really appreciate the process. I think we've, through this process, have heard from the public and even tweaks and things so that was something that, you know, there was people concerned about things. We were able to pivot and add some things and hear their concerns. And I think it's like Craig said, it's a long, tough process. And I think we've done a good job of getting input from people and moving forward. And I'm ready. I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I appreciate all the staff has done. It is a long process and it's a necessary process to highlight the problems that we have in our transportation system. And the process to go through to remify it, to figure solutions out to make traffic flow better. We've just been growing at leaps and bounds and, now maybe we can get a hold of it a little bit and move forward and make things better. So
Commissioners, I'm sorry, before you make the motion, I just want to make sure we also thank our consultant parametrics, Ryan Farcombe and Aaron. They've been amazing. And as much as we've had to pivot and adjust, they've been right there on the ball to make sure that the documents reflected the will of the people. So I'm gonna make sure they get the credit they deserve as well.
Thank you
So noted.
very much. So noted.
Okay, now here on this motions, because our recommendations have already been brought back to us and are in the document right now, we don't have to worry about redoing the changes. We're good. Okay, so I make a motion to accept the Planning Commission's recommendation and approve ordinance 354 and the 2025 Transportation System Plan as presented to be signed out of the Board of Commissioner meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
No discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Barney, aye. So move. Transportation plan.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, John, for everything. Yeah.
And also thank all of you for coming and making your comments.
The first meeting when we said this is the song was a destination resort.
I lost my agenda.
Well, I think we're on to executive session.
Well, no, we gotta do public. Yeah, then Will, and then if we have anything. So management.
Yeah, well, Will, are we ready?
Yeah.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Will Van Vactor, County Manager. As far as my,
Hey, folks, can you wrap it up until we wrap up the meeting?
I just have a couple quick notes, for my manager's report. I want to congratulate Blaine Cheney on his promotion from our IT Operations Manager to our IT Director. Blaine stepped in and done a great job helping us implement some structural changes to the IT department and has been a great member of the team, both at IT and across the organization. So I want to make a quick comment about his promotion and thank him for stepping into that role. I also wanted to highlight a couple of upcoming meetings, just as a reminder. We have a special meeting scheduled for Friday to continue the conversation with the Sheriff's Office regarding core services and levels of service. And then next
I believe it's Thursday, October 23rd, we have a budget committee to discuss the upcoming budget and have a conversation about ongoing funding of the sheriff's office. And with that, I will wrap my manager's report up, unless the commission has any questions for me.
No. Thank you, Will.
Commissioner updates?
I have nothing.
I don't have anything either. So public comment? No public comment? So next on the agenda is the executive session. Before we go into that, for the commissioners, matter that we're talking is real estate and, if anyone agrees that we do not need to go into that, and then we can delegate the authority to the manager will to negotiate on behalf of the county.
I will make that motion. So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to authorize Will to delegate authority to Will to work on a real estate transaction.
And just for my clarity on that authorization, kind of gives me the authority to negotiate with the potential buyer and sign necessary documents.
Right, and then when there's a decision to be made, we bring it back to court. And I, will voluntarily help you if I can in anything that you need, so.
Okay, so I've made the motion and he seconds, so let's just,
Okay, all in favor, say, any further discussion?
no,
All in favor, say aye.
Herrick, aye.
Crawford, aye.
Barney, aye. So moved.
So that eliminates our ORS 192.660.
No executive sessions needed.
We don't have the second one. There's two on that.
Same category.
Same.
Same thing. Okay, perfect. All
Just the
right.
one item.
Okay, perfect. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. Motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Herrick, aye.
So moved. Thank you, everyone.